what do you see as far as how we're going to manage diseases in the future?
I think if we back up and we think about what has changed over the last 20 years, it's been our pig flow and our separation from the breed-to-wean to the growing pig population. All of that was based on the premise of actually disease management, but more importantly, improved performance, particularly in the grow finish phase. And with that, that system developed, it then became easier to eliminate diseases in each of those production phases. So now we had the separated pig flow from the breed-to-wean unit. So that opened up a lot of flexibility, Laura, in how we could approach disease management and disease elimination. At the same time, it also allowed the industry to grow our inventory. And so, as we all recognize today, we have larger populations located in many of the premises, which that by itself influences the disease activity, at least in certain geographical areas. One of the challenges I think we do face is if we go back and we look at your example of PED and then we're seeing Delta coronavirus, was that it emphasized that we have methods of transmission that we previously did not think were all that important. So stimulated research by you and others to say, are we transferring those type of pathogens in the feed or transportation fomites? So for me, it's opened up a lot of what I refer to as practical research back to the farm level in terms of how disease pathogens are transmitted, and that opens up approaches of how do we do control of that transmission as we go forward. I think one of the interesting things that we learned, Laura, out of PED was that we originally thought we had a method to eliminate it out of a particular herd, and over about a 2-year time period, we actually got quite good at eliminating that particular virus out of herds. I think as you remember back, we had some of those situations where we cleaned and disinfected 6, 7, 8 times and still had virus activity. Well, it turns out we didn't quite understand where the transmission was occurring and what the influence of a quite young pig, in this case a suckling pig, contributed to the concentration of virus and the spread of that virus within a particular herd. I would say today we've got quite good at reducing the number of days that we have losses within a PED herd or a Delta coronavirus herd. Now the question comes is, should we eliminate that virus from the industry as a whole? I think we've recognized the modes of transmission, and the next step would be then to back up and say, what do we need to do as an industry to complete the elimination out of the North American industry? Mm-hmm. As I think forward, and if we think about what is occurring with ASF, a risk clearly have increased here now that the virus is in the Western Hemisphere, and with the situation that does exist within Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and not only movement of people, but then becomes the increased risk of their movement of products. At the same time, our industry is really through SHIC has taken a very practical and aggressive approach with the authorities and to try to minimize that risk and also understand the important methods of transmission. So if we compare that, though, to your earlier question on pseudorabies, we don't have an effective vaccine yet. So, and we don't have a differential vaccine now. Just last week it was announced that the studies are quite promising, at least on the gene-deleted vaccine as being effective and as being safe. So that work needs to continue, as well as the diagnostic technology in order to allow early identification and then control and elimination.